Hello, I'm the Dimmitt. Welcome to my humble program this afternoon, my vlog. I am holding a crowbar. It's a tire iron. Do you see it? There's an interesting story about this tire iron. You see, about 2 years ago, my home was broke into while I was at home. And the bad guys used this crowbar to pry open the garage door. And then they took their fist and shoved it through the wall in the kitchen from the garage, opened the door and came in and stole my computer. And while all this was going on, I was in bed, not even asleep. It does something to you when that kind of thing happens. I immediately called 911. But at the time I called 911, I was not aware that there were 3 people in my house. I didn't understand what was going on. You know how long it took the police to get here? It was over 3 hours, closer to 4 hours. And it took 3 phone calls. And bear in mind, when I made the phone call, I didn't know that the bad guys could still be in my house. 3 men with this. And me, an old man, alone, with a cane. And a dog that didn't seem to react to this. So this all has a point of leading to one question. I just want to tell you why people today don't bother to report crimes anymore. And why our crime rate statistics say the crime is going away. It's not the crime's going away. It's just the fact that we don't want to waste our time reporting crime to the police. Now the policeman told me when I showed him this, I hadn't touched it. It was on a trash can because the thief left it there. When he left, he didn't take it with him. At least he didn't steal it. I said, that's how they got in. They used this crowbar. And maybe you could get a fingerprint. Now here's the question I pose to you. Policeman said, can't get a fingerprint off of that. It's metal. Is that true? Any of you know? I watch CSI. They get fingerprints off dead bodies. I said, maybe you should take a picture of where they broke in. He goes, oh, yeah, I'll go out and get my camera. Should have a picture. He comes back. He says, I don't have my camera, so I'm not going to take any pictures. I said, I have a camera. I will take a picture for you. Nope, that's no good. Can't use that. The final slap in the face here. They had used some army clothes which looked to me like a coat, so when they went through the garage door they would not cut themselves. So I said to the police officer, I said, officer, I think that army coat, which is not mine, it wasn't here this morning, was used by the bad guys. Maybe that would be helpful. Well, he ignored me. And as the policeman's leaving, I said, would you please check that coat out in the garage? It might have the guy's name on it. You know, army coats often have not people's names. So he came in. He was definitely irritated because he had better things to do than to try to help a citizen, an old man. He picked it up, and it was not a coat. Again, I'm not an expert on military clothing. And it was all folded up. I couldn't tell. It was a pair of pants. And the policeman, as he left, said, I'm sure he left without his pants on. What the hell does that mean? If anyone wonders why we senior citizens don't give a damn about the police department, it's things just like that. That's the reason we don't give a damn about the police anymore, because they don't seem to give a damn about us. And that situation in Utah, I saw him seeing this morning where they tasered that young man. He did nothing to provoke, nothing to threaten that police officer. Where do they get off? There's a sign that's on police cars that says to protect and to serve. It should be ripped off their car. If they don't protect us, we have to protect ourselves. And that's a scary thought for us old people. Get them, Bentley.
Freeze,
Sick them. Sick them. Ah, what's it? I'll have to see it myself.
Reap, reap, gonna reap the fruit of the seed that you've been sowing. What you gonna say to the Lord that day when he asks what you've been growing? Will you say hope is a-growing, that's what I planted. Hope is a-growing, that's what I planted. Started spreading all around, watched it fill this little